sound in your head that you just couldn't make happen? Well, Douglas Castro knows how you feel. He went looking for a distinct, high-gain metal bass sound that would cut through a mix, and when he couldn't find it, he made it. This is the updated version of the first drive pedal that Darkglass ever made, the pedal that launched 1,000 riffs. This is the B3K. Part of the mission that spawned this pedal was to make a bass tone that would actually cut through a metal mix. It's kind of difficult to pick out the bass in metal most of the time. Or at least it was. To punch through, you have to have a really distinct top end that will show off the articulation of your playing and your bass, but you can't just do that with brightness and treble because it'll make your bass sound harsh. So it's better to get a lot of your high-end information from a drive, and that can give you a broader and punchier top end, as well as some natural compression that can help you sit a little bit better in a mix. So when Douglas made the B3K back in 2009, he started showing it to some other bassists that he knew, and it turned out the sound that was in his head was in their head too, and their positive feedback led to him founding Darkglass Electronics, and without them, we wouldn't be watching this video. This is the second version of the archetypal Darkglass pedal, and it features a lot of subtle advances in how it handles bass tone. The updates include a tone knob and mid boost in place of version 1's two three-way switches. The manual is more or less printed right here on the front panel, but I'm gonna highlight a few things. So let's start with the easy stuff. Drive controls the amount of drive, and blend controls your blend, okay? So the level knob actually only controls the level of the distorted part of your tone. Your clean tone stays at unity gain all the way through the pedal. So the interplay between level and blend is a little bit different than you might expect, but it's kind of the secret sauce here. The tone knob is another bass-friendly operator and actually controls the cutoff frequency of a low-pass filter that runs from 3K up to 8K. The low-end part of your signal stays the same no matter what you do with the tone knob. The buttons right down here are also a lot of the sauce on this pedal. Here we have a mid-boost button, which will bump your signal by 6 decibels from 300 Hz to 1K. You can think of that as kind of an instant vintage character and keep the whole thing from getting too metal, which of course we would not want. The grunt switch over here piles on the low end and fills out the fundamental elements of your drive. Let's talk more playing. Pretty amazing that right out of the gate, Douglas Castro hit upon the signature Darkglass sound, and you can hear the DNA of this pedal in almost everything else that they make. I like that Darkglass started as a quest for audible and distinct metal bass tone because that can be a tough thing to aim for. I grew up playing metal, and yeah, it can be hard to get yourself heard without trying to drive the front of house person or your bandmates crazy with lots of bright, brittle top end. Version 2 still has all of the madness and grindy top end that put Darkglass on the map, but a lot more fine-tuning controls for subtle things like mid-range, presence, and warmth. There's a lot of character available well before you get to the extreme settings that bring the fury. I like that the knobs work as labeled so that you can get control of it quickly, but they work just a little bit different than you think they might, and I like that that might help you stumble onto some aspect of your tone or your playing or your bass that may be a little unexpected for you. Crazy gain and high volume aren't enough to make your bass make sense in a metal setting or any other setting. You have to have a lot of control over your tone, and this pedal, even though it has relatively few controls, really helps your sound thread the needle in a mix, even if that mix is full of crazy guitars. And that's gonna do it for the pedal I really wish I'd had when I was in high school. This has been the Microtubes B3K. I've been Amos, you've been amazing.